So we've been looking at things from turtle, or from one of your opponent's turtle. Hey, Dan, how you doing? So, last time we looked at clock choke, right? Sitting to the side, arm goes under, opens the collar, reaching in front of this shoulder, securing this grip, with this grip, with this grip, a variety of others we went over, weight on the back and driving it, right? So that's one option. Another option would be the anaconda. Perfect here. So anaconda and darce get confused all the time, kind of like flower sweep and pendulum sweep. They're similar in a lot of ways, but the anaconda specifically is I'm reaching between his head and shoulder junction on the one side and coming out between his shoulder, his arm, and his lat on the other side, whereas a darce is typically going in this way and coming up between his neck and shoulder over here. So the anaconda, I'd be keeping my weight on top of him, but just for demonstrative purposes here, I'm going to keep my weight off him so you can see. So I'm driving this hand between his head and his shoulder, popping out this way. One way to do the anaconda is you can lock up the choke from the start. So you can get your bicep here and you can come up on top and roll through. If you do it this way, there's a couple of disadvantages. One is he can post with his elbow because I want to roll this way. So if I have this, he can start to block my roll with his elbow. It also makes it a little bit more difficult to hide my head. So I prefer to do it shooting this hand out, then palm to palm gripping here and pulling in on his arm. And then I want to hide my head here next to his shoulder. I don't want it here because if I roll through, I'm going to crush my own head. And that does not facilitate anything good for me. So, at least not that I'm aware of. So, arm goes between the head and shoulder, pops out this side, palm to palm, and I squeeze in and bring his tricep, here's arm. I hide my head, and now I'm going to roll through. Now from here, there's a couple of things. Intuitively, it feels like, so once we get this position, when we roll through here, we shoot this arm through and we grab our bicep, this hand comes up. It feels like the deeper we get this arm, the better the choke will be. But it actually creates all this space. Bring your arm up. If I'm like this, as opposed to here. If I pull my elbow down, now the radius, the bone on the thumb side of my forearm, is against his carotid artery over here. If I'm way deep, I'm just like squeezing in front of his neck. Yeah, he can block it. One more time. Oh, I guess that should come in 1 second. Just a note on anatomy, right? Our bodies are pretty well adjusted to protecting the vulnerable bits. So like our carotid artery is deep and it's a smaller target, and that's what we're aiming for. The musculature on the side of the neck, you know, these are short, stout, powerful muscles. You can hurt those, you could squeeze them and it can be uncomfortable, but you can sustain a lot of damage here that's not life-threatening, not going to put somebody unconscious. The carotid artery is a different story, right? For those of us who work in medicine, right? Carotid artery injury, that's not an injury that you want to hear is coming in. So the artery is what you're looking for here. Hand goes between the neck and shoulder, driving this hand through, palm to palm, pull in on the arm, head hides against the shoulder, and I roll through. From here, bring my elbow back, shoot this arm through and grab my bicep. This hand goes up high. Now I'm going to push my chest forward. My feet are going to brace up or bridge here just a little bit, and I want to bring myself in. Now I won't put in the choke, but actually let's loosen it up. Driving this through, palm to palm, pulling in, hiding my head, gator rolling through, grabbing my bicep. Hand goes up high here. I'm going to keep this loose, but part of the action is squeezing against that artery. The other is I'm compressing his head forward, right? And compressing his diaphragm as I move my body forward. If his leg is close enough to me, I want to capture that leg and bring it over and squeeze, moving my body this way, my hips towards his. Does anybody need to see that again? Yeah. Like 10 more times? Full speed? Yeah, move this way just a little bit. All right, let's turn there. Perfect. All right, if you can instruct your opponent on exactly where to go, that's a real benefit. So driving this between his head and shoulder, hand pops out, palm to palm, squeeze it on this arm, hide my head, roll through, adjust this elbow, shoot to the bicep, goes up high here, puff my chest out, start to move my hips forward and post up or drive forward with my hips. Well, do you need to see Sam?
No, I can just sit out for a second.
All right. Fair. That's right. Hands up, everybody. Sam excluded. Yeah, figure it out. All right, hip 1, 2. Good.